As unemployment continues to rise, tech companies are struggling to find skilled workers to fill positions. This, according to the latest CNBC Technology Executive Council survey, which includes tech decision makers from some of the largest U.S. companies and organizations. In that survey, 32% of respondents say that finding qualified employees to fill open positions is going to be the biggest risk to their company over the next 12 months. Additional concerns include upgrading outdated IT and meeting customer demand for tech-driven solutions. Remote working still top of mind as tech companies aim to make working from home more permanent. A majority of survey respondents expect up to half of their workforces will continue to work remotely as of September 1st. Then there's security. While execs say that working from home productivity appears to be higher, so is cyber risk. 36% of respondents say that both individual hackers and employee mistakes are the biggest cybersecurity threats to their companies. If you want the full results on the latest CNBC Technology Executive Council survey, head to cnbc.com/TEC. And now let's bring in a member of the Technology Executive Council, the Chief Operating Officer of Girls Who Code, Tarika Barrett, joins us now. Tarika, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Really glad to have you. I want to get your sense, because in the survey, we heard that finding qualified employees to fill open positions was a big risk here. From your network, not just of current girls who code, who are waiting to enter the workforce, but maybe even alumni who have, how has this crisis affected them, and what is the potential for opportunity for them to fill an unmet need?
That's a great question. We actually just recently did a survey of our alumni at Girls Who Code during this crisis and found that 40% of our college seniors are still looking for roles. And so this is a really acute issue for them. And of that group, we found that 20 to 25% of them were also caregivers. So what you're raising is something that impacts our alumni, but also folks throughout the entire tech sector.
So what needs to be done, either in terms of help that existing companies can give to Girls Who Code, or other even policy initiatives that are going to help the group that you serve?
I mean, I think for tech companies, the critical thing is to acknowledge where we are with women, with people of color during this pandemic. You know, when you look at the data, you have to kind of acknowledge the problem that we're grappling with. Women make up less than 25% of the tech workforce, and for women of color, it's only 18%. And so even though you're kind of asking these questions, it's not just about hiring. The fact is that nearly 40% of women with engineering degrees either quit soon after entering the field, or they don't end up entering the field at all. And, you know, as we think specifically about this crisis and the impact that you're talking about in the data that you have, companies need to support women very differently. And, you know, it starts with pay equity and promotions, but they have to be thinking about work from home policies, family leave policies. We have tons of people across the country who are ill and struggling. So it's also about flexibility for employees who are caregivers.
Finally, I want to ask this policy question. The president is suspending H-1B visas through the end of the year, stoking some controversy. The stated reason for that is to give U.S. workers the best shot at jobs in a restricted market. Any impacts that you see from that, positive or negative?
I've heard, you know, in terms of the company perspective, I think folks are speaking out about that immediately and saying that it's a real problem, that they won't be able to get the tech workforce that they need. But from our vantage point, the Girls Who Code lens, we actually have 80,000 college-age alumni who know how to code, but they're still struggling when they apply for jobs. So my response to this would be to ask companies to look inward, to look at the skilled women who make up the population that we have now, and recognize that it's a culture problem. You know, our work is to focus on training girls, but it's also about changing culture. So as much as this is a blow, I think, around the visas for companies, we really want to push our alumni and encourage companies to hire more women, and especially women of color.